Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with the Team Star Challenge, and as you guys know, we are getting into battle number 8. Now, our opponent here is going to lead off with an Annihilape, and we're going to be coming in here with our Torkoal. This Torkoal is a Pokemon that you've definitely seen before, and it is my shell-smashing, Tera-flying Torkoal that I used way back in the Inkay games. Now, Team Star's challenge is 100% single battle only, and you have to have a team that's focused around Revaroom, meaning every Pokemon has to have a Team Star reference, and of course you have to have Revaroom on every team that has to come to every battle. So we are going to go in for the Terrestrialization to Flying, we are going to go for the Shell Smash. However, this Annihilape actually has something that I've never seen before, and that was the Final Gambit. Back when this tournament or competition happened, I had never seen someone use a Final Gambit Annihilape before, and it actually blew my mind. Like, I have never seen it before. That thing, obviously, I think if I'm not mistaken, the set that uses Final Gambit now is a Choice Scarf set, and they also have a very specific Terrestrialization too, which is pretty interesting. But anyways, both parties get knocked out. Again, just blew my mind right there during this competition. Revaroom comes in, and we are also going to bring in our own Lucario. Now, both Pokemon are of the Steel type. Mine, of course, is Fighting, while theirs is Poison. I am debating on going in for the Vacuum Wave here. It is a priority-based move, but it is also a fighting-based move. So that means that it should be able to get some damage off onto the Revaroom pretty decently. However, it's very possible that they might actually go for like a Terrestrialization here at some point. Vacuum Wave actually does manage to pop their Air Balloon, which is pretty cool, but I don't really have anything at this point that has any kind of ground-based move in this current situation. Vacuum Wave, of course, is really my only play here. However, they are going to go in for their Tera change here at this time. Considering I have already popped their Air Balloon, I'm assuming they're thinking about the future Revaroom that's on my team. So they ended up going in for the Terrestrialization to Water. Now, water is pretty good because it's going to be able to resist this Vacuum Wave pretty decently. And any kind of fire or ground-based move is not going to be as effective as it normally would. They are, however, going to go in for the Tera Blast here, and they're actually very close to picking up the KO off onto Lucario, which is not a good situation for me right now. I do end up having to go for another Vacuum Wave here because if I don't, I risk getting outsped by this Revaroom, and I really can't have that at this point in this battle. So we do manage to get the Vacuum Wave off here again, which is great because it's a priority-based move, and we end up knocking out their Revaroom. So right now we actually have 2 Pokemon down on the opposing side. Now, I do have my own personal Revaroom still in play, which is going to be good because we're up against a King Gambit here right now. Now, King Gambit is one of those Pokemon that I really did not want to see, but I knew we were going to see it at some point. I am going to try to go for the Vacuum Wave, however, I'm not sure if Sucker Punch is a more higher priority than Vacuum Wave, so I'm not necessarily sure what's going to end up happening here. At this exact moment in the battle, I was pretty happy to see the Vacuum Wave come off. But, of course, as you can see, I am Life Orbed, which means that I actually end up losing my Lucario anyway. The King Gambit, of course, does have Sucker Punch, so I've just answered my own question. Vacuum Wave does out-priority Sucker Punch, which is pretty fantastic. We are now going to come in with my own Revaroom here. Of course, it is on an Air Balloon. I've already, I believe, gone for my Terrestrialization with Torkoal, so I can no longer go for my Tera Flying. But luckily for me, I am on the Air Balloon. But these Pokemon don't usually have any kind of ground-based attacks. It's usually all Dark-type moves or, a Steel-type move in that situation. So we're going to go in for the attack here. We are going to get hit by Sucker Punch first because it is a priority-based move. They pop my Air Balloon, and we're going to go in for the high horsepower here, and we do manage to get that KO. And that means we finally have a win! After a couple of matches where I lost. But you know what? You win some, you lose some. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, give me a big old thumbs up, post your comments, and I'll see you next time.